In film yesterday, did you see anything, or did you guys go over anything that stood out to you maybe more than you expected, or that you didn't talk about as much after the first game?
No, probably not. I mean, I think, more so it was just, it's fine-tuning some things. They beat us to hustle plays, 50-50 balls, offensive rebounds, things like that, where we kind of fell asleep. We'd play really good defense for most of the shot clock and then fall asleep at the end. And I thought if you look at the numbers and if you look at how we defended, we gave ourselves a chance. We got to make shots.
Yeah, Dee obviously still in the concussion protocol. Just how is she progressing, and I guess what are you going to miss with her out tonight?
Yeah, she's continuing to progress, so that's good. That's positive. Obviously we'll miss having her size and her ability to play with physicality. We missed that in being able to give AB a blow, and our ability to stretch the floor. Another three-point shooter, somebody that we can use to space the floor, give AB some room to operate, and just have another offensive threat.
You've mentioned many a time through the course of the season how you've been around the league for a long time and kind of seen everything. Can you think of a year or a season that you were in a position that's like this is tonight?
In what way?
In the sense that you lost the first game of the playoff, you got to win to keep going.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I have.
You don't remember it though.
No, I don't remember, but I'm sure we have.
Off that point, you guys have been used to having your backs against the wall most of the season in one way or another. Does it kind of feel like maybe all of that experience, I would say, prepared you for a moment like this? Because you have plenty of veterans too that have been used to it, but how do you feel like that could maybe, that urgency or that needing to play in like these really important games that we must win will help tonight?
Yeah, I feel like almost all of our games in August and September have been that. Kind of back against the wall, sense of urgency that it takes, and that's necessary. And so this team has been through it. So I do think that that's helped us or will help us in moments like this for sure.
Steph, if you're not able to get to the pace, or at certain times when you're not, what becomes most important when you're trying to generate a lot more offense?
It's got to be moving the ball. So it's got to get 3 and 4 sides of the floor, and setting screens. We have, when you look at the numbers, anytime we made contact on screens, we were able to at least create high shot quality. If we didn't, they were able to use their length, they were able to use that physicality, they were able to get back into plays and contest our shots.
You've had great beginning of quarters and half, and then conceded runs. Is that something you addressed after Sunday's game?
It's something we've addressed a lot throughout the course of the season, and typically that's been end of second quarter, beginning of third, but it was end of first and second for us in game one.
How do you get Aaliyah going a little bit more offensively to kind of help out with the scoring?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because of how they play, how they're really packing it in on her, playing off of, a number of our players. The way we really get space for her is to make shots. I thought we had a lot of really good looks that didn't fall for us. Certainly, we've talked a lot about the fact that she's really impacted by who we don't have on the floor. But we've also got to be willing to get to the third and fourth action and try to get her on the move a little bit more as well.
You referenced the experience in fighting back from these adverse situations in the past throughout the season. Does that give kind of a unique sense of confidence compared to past experiences when you're in this spot facing an elimination game?
No, I think anytime you've had experience in moments like this, where your back's against the wall, where there is a sense of urgency, I think any bit of that experience is helpful. There's a certain desperation that has to come with how you play every possession. I didn't feel like in game one we played with that desperate mentality that we needed, particularly when you look at 50-50 balls, when you look at how many times, we didn't get inside the three-point line for a defensive rebound and the ball hit the floor and they were able to get it. There's got to be a desperation that you play with and a sense of urgency that you play with at all times. We didn't have that consistently for 40 minutes in game one. I expect us to have it here tonight.
So you mentioned that sense of urgency. Is there something like live it all out with no regrets tonight?
I hope so, yeah.